Join me as I dive into the fascinating story of how cyanobacteria changed Earth's air 1.75 billion years ago. Can I make it relatable and interesting for you? Cyanobacteria are some of the oldest living things on our planet, and they've been around for about 3.5 billion years. These tiny microorganisms are incredibly resilient and can thrive in almost any environment, from hot springs to Antarctic rocks. But what's really interesting about cyanobacteria is the huge impact they had on shaping the planet's air and environment. Before cyanobacteria came onto the scene, Earth's atmosphere was very different from what we have today. There was hardly any oxygen, and the air was mostly made up of methane, ammonia, and other gases. This was a pretty hostile environment for life as we know it, with no protective ozone layer to shield organisms from the sun's harsh ultraviolet radiation. The oceans were also very different, with chemicals and minerals that made it tough for life to get a foothold. The lack of oxygen meant that any life forms that existed had to be anaerobic, meaning they didn't need oxygen to survive. These early life forms were probably simple, single-celled organisms that relied on chemical reactions to get energy. But despite these challenges, life somehow managed to persist and evolve. The stage was set for a major transformation, and cyanobacteria were about to play a starring role. The evolution of cyanobacteria was a game-changer. These microorganisms developed a unique photosynthetic process that allowed them to harness energy from sunlight and produce oxygen as a byproduct. This process, called oxygenic photosynthesis, was a major innovation that would change the course of life on Earth. Over time, cyanobacteria spread across the planet, forming massive colonies in the oceans and producing oxygen on a massive scale. As cyanobacteria continued to produce oxygen, something remarkable happened. The oxygen levels in the atmosphere began to rise, paving the way for the development of more complex life forms. This event, known as the Great Oxygenation Event, marked a major turning point in Earth's history. The oxygen produced by cyanobacteria allowed for the evolution of more complex life forms, including multicellular organisms and eventually, animals. The moment when oxygen levels in the atmosphere suddenly spiked is often referred to as the oxygen crisis. This was a time of great upheaval, as many anaerobic organisms struggled to adapt to the new oxygen-rich environment. But for others, the increased oxygen levels opened up new possibilities for growth and evolution. The rise of oxygen also allowed for the development of more efficient metabolic processes, which in turn enabled the evolution of larger, more complex organisms. The impact of cyanobacteria on Earth's atmosphere cannot be overstated. These tiny microorganisms played a crucial role in transforming the planet's air and environment, paving the way for the diversity of life we see today. From the simplest bacteria to the most complex ecosystems, cyanobacteria's legacy can be seen in every living thing. So, what do you think about cyanobacteria and their incredible impact on our planet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in learning more about ancient life forms, be sure to check out my other videos on the subject and subscribe for more content.